Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here. Today I'm looking at Pokemon Season 4, Episodes 13 to 17. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Today I'm looking at Pokemon Season 4, Episode 13, A Better Pill to Swallow. And I thought the episode was okay. So, Ash gets stomach pains. So this guy who comes right the hell nowhere decides to give him something that's meant for Pokemon, but it's surprisingly decent for humans. Now, this is ironically a stranger danger of not taking anything from them, but yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me, but I guess it was enough for him to earn their trust. I don't know. So Brock wants some medicine from the guy, but in exchange for that, he needs them to find a blue Shuckle. And yeah, these are the Pokemon Shuckle. Apparently, they have these plugs in their shells that produce medicine, a type of liquid that makes medicine. Not bad. But then they have to find a blue Shuckle, even though they keep saying it's purple. That damn thing is blue. I'm not gonna insult the people who wrote this episode who are colorblind, but clearly they don't know what purple blue is. But again, I am not offending you as a person. I'm annoyed by the fact that you don't know your colors. But again, not judging you as a person. When Team Rocket shows up and steals the blue Shuckle, they drink from the stuff. But it turns out that kind of juice is kind of a love juice. Yeah, that's right. Any Pokemon that's in the area will instantly fall in love with Team Rocket. Which, no surprise, Victory Bell gets a taste of that stuff and bites James as per usual. I like Meowth gets into that, and Pikachu gets attracted to that. Until it wears off. Until it wears off. Uh-oh. So yeah. The part with Team Rocket does have a legit funny payoff. Particularly when the stuff only lasts for a few days. But there's also... Now, remember what I said in episode 8 Golbat leaves the group? Yeah. Remember when I said that in the previous video? Well, let's get back to that. Because Golbat's here. Even though they made it quite clear that Golbat left. And this happens multiple times. So, keep this in mind. I am going to bring this up multiple times. It's just continuity error irritates me. But apart from that, the episode was fine. But the inconsistencies, the irritating continuity errors really irk me, but the love potion on Team Rocket, that's legit funny. Today I'm looking at Pokemon Season 4, Episode 14, Power Play. And I thought this was actually a decent episode. And yeah, Gary's here. Yeah, haven't seen you in a while. And yeah, remember that Eevee that defeated Pikachu in the Season 2 finale? Yeah, it's an Umbreon now. And Gary, not only is a surprisingly decent trainer, I don't know what the writers did, but they made him a decent character. Because for one, he's not rude to Ash. Big change, and he actually talks like a decent human being. So when it turns out that the power plant's power is getting stolen, Ash and the gang decide to investigate, like you do, and Gary decides to go investigate. And I will say this, when it's Ash and Gary teaming up, it's pretty good. The Team Rocket stuff, it's the usual shtick. But I do like Gary doesn't screw around. That Umbreon is pretty damn strong. And I love the ending where Gary tells Ash, you've gone better than you've gotten better the last time I saw you. I think that pretty much implies that Gary's ready to take Ash on whenever he's ready. And while Ash was a little bit iffy towards Gary, at least Gary gives him respect, which I guess was enough to get Ash to pretty much imply, yeah. That's pretty much the closest to an apology he's going to get me. So yeah, I thought the interaction between Gary and Ash were cool. I think Gary himself was a decent guy, and Umbreon's freaking cool. I just wish the Team Rocket stuff was more in there. Today I'm looking at Pokemon Season 4, Episode 15, Mountain Time. This is a pretty whatever episode. So it turns out these flying time Pokemon are being trained to move in with the ways of the wind. And while that is absolutely not bad, it does lead to a pretty intense scene where Ash, Brock, and Misty and the flying type specialist are trying to climb up this ladder, and they get caught. And they got caught in pretty strong air current. It's honestly a pretty intense scene, and props to them for doing that. And I do like the karma at the end where Team Rocket gets their comeuppance. It's honestly a well-deserved karma. But apart from all of that, it's just nothing but a meh episode that is a little forgettable. Oh god. Here we go. Today I'm looking at Pokemon Season 3, Episode 16, Wobbu-Palooza. This has to be the dumbest, most irritating episode I've ever watched in the entire season. And we're only 16 minutes in. We're not even at the halfway point. No, we're not. So Ash, Brock, and Misty enter a festival that celebrates Wobbuffet. And I think you know where this is going. The Team Rocket are brought in by this woman with a Wobbuffet, and she thinks they're decent people. Well, we know that, but not the characters do. So when sorry, this episode's freaking irritating. It's hard to say that. A group of thieves show up and try to steal anything that's Wobbuffet. I am not kidding. Why do they have Wobbuffet? Because they got whooped by one. Yeah, that's a bad guy's motivation, people. Because of that pettiness. And it turns out that the trainer that defeated the Wobbuffet is the same trainer that's giving Team Rocket a free roof and food. And it turns out, how she beat them? Using counter. My one question, if these thieves are going around attacking Wobbuffet, why isn't the rest of, the town's residents teaching their Wobbuffet freaking counter, or mirror code, or whatever defensive move they call it? Hell, even the episode mixes it up. Which is honestly the one good thing. But this episode's so bad. So, prompts to Ash and the gang, they try to fight back. But it turns out they have that one rule. And it's probably one of the most dumbest and most infuriating rules. Turns out, during the festival, they are not allowed to fight. And yet you're allowed to use defensive moves. Again, if you're not allowed to fight back, then why the hell are you using defensive moves? And if you aren't using defensive moves, why aren't the rest of the Wobbuffet using them? Mirror Code, Counter, any form of defensive moves that doesn't even have to lift a finger. And This makes no goddamn sense. So when Team Rocket shows up and, well, they realize that these people are nice and they gave them a roof over their head and free food, they do probably what the characters should be doing and actually taking on the thieves. And in a surprising twist, they defeat them. And what do the villagers do to thank them? Well, thank you for saving us, but it doesn't matter the fact that you broke the rules. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. No, I need another. You know, this episode is horrendously bad. Team Rocket, a group of characters we're meant to hate and root against, are the ones doing the right thing here. We're meant to root against these three, and then the ones doing the right thing. Oh my god. Yeah, you can tell. This episode sucks. Its plot makes no sense. Its peaceful route is a baloney of twisted plot holes that makes no sense. And God, these people are so particularly selfish. At least Team Rocket did the right thing in this episode. Calling these morons out on their crap. Let's move on. Okay. Sorry. Let's move on. Oh, good. We've gone from possibly the worst abominational episode of the season so far to an actually pretty flawless episode. Today we're looking at Pokemon Season 4, Episode 17, Imitation, Confrontation. Hey, I said it right. And this is a freaking awesome episode. Guess who they bump into? The Ditto Trainer, Duplica. Yes, that freaking awesome character from Season 1. By the way, Ditto's Mysterious Mansion ended up in my top 10 favourite episodes of that season. And she's just as good as she was back then. And she doesn't just have original Ditto, she has two of them. One being, well, a baby. And it turns out that Ditto can still imitate Pokemon, but only to the size of, well, an infant. And it's honestly not that bad. And it also can only copy attacks from the Pokemon that it's facing up against, which is also not bad. And through a pretty decent Team Rocket scheme, they want to use Mini Ditto as well to trick other trainers into giving them the most powerful Pokemon. Any powerful Pokemon. And once that is solved, they can retake back Mini Ditto and start the process again. And I will say this, while it is a horrible scam, it's a legit clever scam. Oh, and for those watching this, do not copy what they do here. It is not okay. But I will say this, Team Rocket is legit clever. I will give them credit for that. But again, do not do this. I am saying this to my audience right now. Anyway, I thought this was really great. And well, they get blasted as per usual. And we get 3 Pikachus, which is freaking awesome, by the way. Given that, well, there's Ash's Pikachu, and 2 of the Pikachus are the 2 Dittos. And I will say, what they do here is honestly freaking sweet. So, in this episode I'm going through, okay, surely they're going to try and turn Mini Ditto into a normal Ditto. They don't do that here. They decide Mini Ditto is just Mini Ditto. We just have to accept it the way this Pokemon is and adjust to it. Honestly, that's a really good message. That's pretty much showing that, well, we are who we are, and we just learn to adapt, accept, and get experience from it. That's honestly really sweet. And honestly, this character should be getting her own damn show. Given that she says, I want to collect more Ditto so I can build my own army of Dittos. Why isn't this chick getting her own show? She's honestly one of my favorite one-off characters, like Richie from Season 1. Honestly, that kid should have been Ash's rival, and Toplika should be getting her own damn show. I want to follow the adventure. It's just her and her Dittos going on crazy adventures. That'd be a freaking awesome show. Even if it lasted one season, I'd be down for that. But I think this episode is pretty damn flawless. It's got a great setup. Toplika is great as ever. I like the message of acceptance. And the scheme, even though, again, do not copy what Team Rocket does in this episode, is really smart. I'll give Team Rocket this. They think I'm a pretty clever scheme with a good backup plan. And I want to say again, do not copy what they do in this episode. Team Rocket are bad people in this show. Do not copy what they do. So yeah, flawless episode, top notch. And that's the end of the video, folks. Hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up, like and comment, subscribe, and I hope to get more videos like this. Speaking of which, tomorrow, I'll be looking at Pokemon Season 4, episodes 18 to 23. Keep an eye out for that video. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.